What up, world? It's your boy E-Dub. Yes, I'm smoking a cigar. I'm here with my man, Lance LaRosa. Lance, say what's up to the people.
What's up to the people?
We're going to move this here so you can see both of us here. But here it is, folks. ROE, Week 13. And, of course, as you know, we are not yet mathematically eliminated, but...
Oh, come on. We're eliminated. Like
we still have a shot.
Okay, mathematically, you can, like, I can win the Powerball in a couple of days, but let's be realistic.
Powerball's tonight.
No, I didn't buy, so I can't win tonight.
You still have time to go play, which might be the thing that turns around our season. But anyhow, yeah, Cincinnati, a team without A.J. Green. Clearly, we can't win on the road. Clearly, we just can't win on the road. I don't know what to say anymore. I really don't.
Does Carson Wentz just not bring his blankie with him when he travels because he's, like, ashamed of it with the guys? Like, what is it? Why is he looking? There were 3 dropped balls, which should have been interceptions, and 2 interceptions.
Yeah, this game, from start to finish, I'm saying to you, the first half of the game, first 30 minutes, we actually showed up. The last 30 minutes, I don't know what the hell team was out there. I don't know. I couldn't tell our offense from our defense from our special teams. They all looked like...
First 30 minutes we showed up? I disagree. Our defense showed up for the first 30 minutes. Our offense didn't put anything on the board until the third quarter.
You know it's bad when Jordan Matthews is not on the field. Yeah. I can't believe I'm saying that. A guy who I don't even really consider to be our #1 wide receiver, a guy who has been deemed the #1 wide receiver because out of the collection of guys that we have, he's considered the best. And the first quarter, Carson Wentz and Darrell Green-Beckham, forever and a day, are always hooking up in the first quarter. They're making catches. They're making plays. They're doing what needs to be done. And then somehow, some way, after that first 15 minutes, these two guys are like complete perfect strangers.
The 3rd and 13 where he's wide open and he overthrows it out of bounds. He ran the perfect cut route. He faked his own coverage. He got the guy to take the wrong step. He got free, and you overthrow the ball 3 feet out of bounds. And there's no one on you. You weren't in a rush. You weren't about to be hit. This comes down to the quarterback. This comes down to Carson Wentz.
He's a rookie, though. He's a rookie.
He's new, and now everyone, but he started off so well, and we have a couple of rookies who started off so well. There's a lot of questioning. Should he be playing? Should he have been starting this year? And I don't know that he should have been, but I would rather have had him start than Sam Bradford any day of the week.
I was happy when Bradford left and he came in, and I still in support of him. The problem is the world right now is centered around the quarterback down in Jerry World because of how well he's doing. Yep. And someone asked me on my show, they said, in the beginning of the season, they asked me Carson Wentz or Dak Prescott. And by far, I was going with Carson Wentz all day long. So last night, the question came up again. Carson Wentz or Dak Prescott? And I still, to this day, say Carson Wentz. Here's the sole purpose and reason why. First off, Carson Wentz does not have the offensive line that Dallas has. They don't. If we had everybody healthy, from Lane Johnson to Jason Peters, we would be that same 3-0 team that we started with. Mm-hmm. We would be in that same conversation right now.
Absolutely. And I still actually answer Carson Wentz as the QB that I want in that situation because of the play style. I think Dak Prescott would not have fit into our system. I don't think that he would have been the QB to pick up. I think looking at it, Carson Wentz definitely needs some development time. Yes. I don't know if he needs to get his head right and together. He still has potential to be a great quarterback.
And I think he will be.
It's his first year, and maybe it's a lot of pressure. I mean, look at Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston is turning around the Bucs right now.
Second year.
But his first year was all anyone could do was question, and you thought Jameis was great and all this. He was a rookie in the big leagues.
Right.
You got to give him time.
But again, it's how they're positioned. When you were positioned within, I'll say, the first round or even the top 10 in the draft, when organizations, when teams are willing to spend this amount of money on a virtual unknown. Yeah. Because all you have to look at them is college tape. You don't know what their production is going to be like, how it's going to translate into the NFL. You're risking. Now, yeah, high risk, high reward. Unfortunately, Jerry World's team got lucky. 4th round pick, and this guy's 11-1. Meanwhile, 2nd round pick, we're sitting at 5-7.
Well, I mean, when you really think about it, the majority of QBs who have become greats weren't first-round picks.
No.
They weren't starting their rookie season. It takes development. It takes sitting behind someone. It takes watching the game, getting comfortable with it, getting, I don't know if it's the butterflies out of your stomach or what it is, but it takes that moment of being on the field and owning the field. And not everyone's just going to step out and do it. And, you know, down in Jerry World, they've got a system set up where even to this day, there are still conversations going back and forth, and maybe we should sit him and, like, you know, have Tony come back for a couple of days.
No. That bed was finally put to rest.
No, it wasn't, because all of a sudden, like, yes, Tony Romo comes out and has his press conference. Yet then there's conversation going around of, well, now we're doing so well. We've got the like, you know, we're sitting in the number 1 seed. Romo has really great numbers in this, like, you know, in this time frame.
He does.
Maybe, you know, looking at what we have, looking at our opponents, maybe we should sit Prescott except for the important games so we don't get hurt.
You don't ruin a hot hand right now. And you know what? Even though, quite frankly, they are still not only the top team in the NFL, but the top team in the NFC and the top team in our damn conference, they do not want to. The one thing they can do, which I hope they do, lose that momentum, but I don't see them doing it. Their schedule is completely, they can win out except January 1st. I'm saying it. I've been saying it since probably April, since the draft last year, when the schedule came out in June, whatever. January 1st, 2017, I'm telling you right now, I've said it and I will continually say it, Dallas is getting their ass whooped back in Philadelphia. And I hope and pray that either Mark Sanchez or Tony Romo starts, because they feel like this game doesn't mean much to them. Because then we are going to finally put the nail in the coffin that is either one of those two, Mr. Butt Fumble or I Can't Stay Healthy Glass Joe himself.
Honestly, I'm going to be be if on January 1st, New Year's Eve, we're going to, right, but like, think about what's coming there. New Year's Eve, you think we're going to see Dak Prescott start? I don't think so. I think with the high life, with everything he is, the type of celebrity, status that he's achieved, he's going to go out, he's going to party, and they're going to sit him.
Yeah, I think they'll sit him and they'll sit Zeke.
Absolutely.
But more importantly, getting back to us, so Lance, what do we do about two people? Number one, Nelson Aguilar. What do we do with him? Because clearly his mental issues have continually just, I'm sorry, the dam is broken.
Well, okay.
And I don't know what we can do to fix it.
Okay. With Aguilar, you have a couple options. I don't think it's anything so much that the league has to do. The kid's got to get his head straight. That's first and foremost. And I know this is one of those things that maybe not everyone wants to hear, but everyone has to go through it. See a shrink, see someone talk about it. It's a lot of pressure. You're coming out into an area where you're making millions of dollars a year. There's a lot of pressure. You have 50,000 streaming fans in the stadium. You have millions of people watching you. That weighs on people. Your everything, your every meal, pretty much at that point comes down to, like, how is this going to affect a game that I'm playing in just a little bit? So I mean, I don't know where to go with that, except I hope he gets his head straight. I don't think he's the right fit for Philly. I never thought he was. We need to get someone out there. We can't do anything for him for the season. We need to replace him. That's a guarantee, just because he's not a fit in Philly. Unless he somehow magically he finds his fit in these next couple of weeks. Christmas miracle, like, you know, the Angels in the outfield, whatever it takes. I don't care. But I think he's done with Philly. Not only the problem is, once you lose our fan base,
you're done.
You're done.
You're done.
And he lost the fan base early on because he can't hold the damn ball.
Yep. And
he's just making it worse.
Second thing I want to ask you. The rumors have been circulating that if, in fact, number 11 in Washington, Deshaun Jackson, becomes a free agent, he would be interested in returning to Philadelphia. So I want to ask you, how do you feel about that?
I don't think the fans in Philly hated him ever. I mean, he didn't get the reception when he returned as, you know, cheer and go.
Well, he hasn't been back to the link. Well, or he has been in the past, but okay, yeah.
But, you know, like, I'm like, when Reed came back, everyone cheered for him, went about our business.
Right.
That's happened with all of our greats. You don't see that with him. Would the city welcome him back? Absolutely. Would he be the right addition to the team at this time? I don't know. I mean, he's still got good speed. He's got good hands. His attitude has calmed down, so he's grown up a bit. I wouldn't be against it because I thought he was a good fit. I don't think he was a good fit under Chip Kelly. I think Doug Peterson would utilize him properly, but I don't know if his ego is going to get in the way or not.
Now, let me ask you. So you've got, let's say essentially we get a trade out of this. We get rid of Aguilar, we pick up Jackson. So now you've got Jordan Matthews, Deshaun Jackson, Paul Turner, Bryce Teggs. Now, looking at that, 4 wide receivers.
Forgetting about Beckham Green.
And Darrell Green Beckham, excuse me. So you've got now 5. looking at that core of wide receivers, do you think that is enough to complement? And I'm going to go back to the era when we had some solid receivers whose names people just, they couldn't believe it, but they made it happen. Greg Lewis, Todd Pinkston, First Down, FedEx, Freddie Mitchell. You know what I'm saying? Guys like that. And even Terrell Owens.
I think that if we mixed it like Deshaun Jackson.
Right.
Jordan Matthews.
Okay.
Darrell
Green Beckham.
I think that is a dangerous core.
Okay.
I think there you have your long threat, medium threat, which clearly is what Jordan Matthews is, because you're not seeing him thrown more than 15 yards. And when he's getting, if the ball touches him, he catches.
Right.
And you're like Darrell Green Beckham Green, never know which order.
Darrell Green Beckham.